It's me, it's your girl, Katie or Joy or whoever you want to call me, whatever this is. I have to point it out because I do this like every video. I love this dress. It's got like all these flowers and they're all different colors, but like when you pan out, it looks more like a pink, red, and blue. So I kind of feel like the 4th of July. I should have worn this on the 4th for a video. I wasn't back yet. I was back July 5th. So I would have been a little bit late, but still, I love this. I realize I should have not worn a black bra, but it is what it is, and we're still working on stuff. Hi, babies. This is gonna be a sit and chill video, and I don't want to scare you with the title, so I don't think I'm disappearing. I don't think, but you guys also know me. Sometimes I do. And I know that because I have the absolute best people that I hate to even say audience, because to me, you're my people, right? And I'm your people, I hope. So I know you guys worry about me. So I wanted to give you guys some updates and tell you what's happening. And if I do disappear for a bit, I wanted to explain what is going on so you guys aren't worried. So this is a sit and chill video. I was gonna say I'm gonna make this brief, but that's probably still 20 minutes. Also, if I look kind of funny, it's like 4:30 in the morning. It was one of those mornings where I woke up at 2:30 and I'm like, I'm awake, which is fine. I have energy and I'm tired. I'm both. Okay, so I'll give you guys some updates. Remember not the last sit and chill video, I don't think, but the one before that where I told you guys what happened with Catcoin and I was sad and I said, I'll have good updates, I promise. Well, that's starting to happen. Okay, you guys remember I did the trip to Kansas City, right? Because I was doing TikTok there. That's why on TikTok, when you see me in the same 7 or 8 tops nonstop, I thought I was going to go for 3 days and I stayed for 6 weeks-ish. And I didn't know I was going back to TikTok where I would have brought more presentable stuff. Well, I told you guys, if you remember, and if you don't, I'll refresh you. I was in Kansas City. I picked up my car. Having a car is game changer. And what sucks is most of my adult life, I've had a vehicle or access to one. So this last several months of not having one, being chronically sick, it was an adventure. You know what though? I wouldn't take it away. It made me really, really strong and confident in myself. To be that ill and still recovering and have to do all that by myself. And I did it successfully. But having a car, sometimes it's weird. It's like, oh, I don't have to make big plans with Uber to go to the grocery store. Because that's the other thing. Well, the other part was that, as you guys know, my diet was so restrictive for a while. I only had these 5-ish foods I could eat. So I had to get very specific stuff all the time. And we've had supply chain issues. So I constantly had to time it with when their trucks come in and what's there. It was a mess. So just being able to go wherever I want is amazing. And I love it. And I'm so grateful. And my dream car is a Toyota Corolla. I want a little Japanese car that will run forever. And I got it. So it just all worked out perfectly. And it's just one of those perfect universal, thank you universe moments, right? Okay, so let me give you guys an update. So you guys know I was in Kansas City and I said I'm working on some big projects. I'm not going to talk about it right now. I don't want to say I can't talk about it. If I say I can't, it's because that's a personal choice. So my friend, I told you guys, I have this friend who's a famous music producer in Kansas City, and we're best friends, and we have so much fun. So I was there for 6 weeks helping him work on some big projects. I'm not going to tell you what they are yet, but I'll kind of explain. Big money. Very big money. I told you guys this before, I've done all types of stuff where I worked with celebrities or very wealthy people or people in power that I don't talk about, that unless you really dug into me, you're not gonna find out or know. And part of the reason those people tend to like me is because I genuinely don't give an SHIT about their status or their money. I care about people, right? And for people in that position, that's hard to find. And then I'm really good at what I do. So it's those two things, right? They know it's oh, she's got me. And so anyways, that's why I don't talk about a lot of this stuff. But this very, very close friend that I have, okay, how do I explain this? There's one big project, umbrella project, with several different projects underneath of it. So there's one umbrella project, kind of 3 or 4 projects with that, and then lots of side things. And like I said, we're talking about a lot of money. So one of the projects that we've been working on went through. And it's because of what I put together. What we did, it's a lot of information. It's a lot of having to put reports together and do different things. And it was a lot. It was a lot. Literally, I was like, okay, maybe I can stay an extra few days and help you. And then I'm there 6 weeks and we're still not done. But the good news is one of the projects has started looks like it's going through, which is fantastic because if and when it does, it's very, very good for both of us because something good happens there, it's going to happen to me, which is very nice. I mean, granted, I didn't help my friend to get anything in return. That's not how I operate. If you're my friend and you need me and I can be there, I will be there, right? And I will offer my skills and my services how I can. And the thing I'm really good at, whether it's written or oral, is communication and business. So yeah, so one of the projects has gone through, which is very exciting. When I get more information and when that is applicable, oh my gosh, I know the word. And this is another thing, guys. I've had a flare up this week. So if you've watched my videos and my brain and my mouth aren't syncing up sometimes, or I'm kind of a little bit less quick. I know I'm super quick, right? So it's probably more normal for most people. Or I'm having a hard time finding words. That's why. So I'm still recovering from a flare up, which we'll talk about. But so I just want to let you know there are good things happening. There are very good things happening with that. So why am I telling you that? Well, I wanted to let you guys know I'm going back to Kansas City for a little bit. I am going to attempt to keep up with my channel while I can. But you guys will notice I'm going to just focus on trying to do one video a day right now. And there's a few reasons for that. So first of all, you're going to see me in a different background, a different setting. It's going to be more like the one on TikTok where I think there's like an orange couch, or it's like the studio that his studio that my friend's studio that I would have filmed in. It's really dark in there, but he's got all the professional equipment. He's got everything that I'll need, so I don't have to pack up my stuff, which is great. But he's asked if I can come back because some of the other side projects are ready to go. We just have to get a few things in place and then get it to where it needs to be. So I might be gone a week. I would say at the max, maybe 2. I don't want to be away from my house too long without having paid rent still. I think my housing company, I think they forgot about me because this is month 3 and I've heard nothing from them. So at the same time, I have a whole room that's sitting with mold that nobody will do anything with. And one of my toilets just quit and was spraying water everywhere and nobody's gotten back to me. So I think they've just kind of given up on me. Okay. But let me talk a little bit about YouTube and kind of explain what's going on. So you guys know I'm pretty good at what I do because you've watched me. You watched me build Stimulus. You've watched me build TikTok. And if you followed me before that, you've seen me build other stuff, right? So I don't mind. You guys know your girl's a grinder. I will put in the work. I will put in the videos. I know that's one of the reasons you guys followed me. You guys were so upset because you guys watched me single-handedly build that Stimulus channel and watch it get taken, right? It's fine. I've let it go. It was a while ago. Just want to, move on in general in my life. No matter what it is, I just want to move forward in a positive way to the best of my ability, right? So, my nose keeps itching and I'll talk and it'll vibrate. I remember that used to happen, but it used to happen a lot more. My nose would be really itchy, and I realize now why. It was because of the histamine disorder. And people would accuse me of being on pharmaceuticals, and I would laugh because it's like, I know I'm hyper, but if you guys actually were around me and lived with me, like I can barely drink coffee. Okay, which we'll get into. We will get into coffee. Okay, so here's what's going on with YouTube. So I cleaned up. You guys know if you follow me on TikTok, I cleaned house on TikTok with the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard story. Problem is, I jumped into a situation towards the end of it, right? I can still capitalize on, here's how, I don't mean to brag, but it's one of those things where I know what I'm good at. Like, I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses, right? The things I'm good at, I'm like on the spectrum good at, right? The things I'm bad at, it's like I am just, I guess I'm on the spectrum bad at it. I'm horrible, right? There's kind of like not a lot of gray area in between with me for some reason. Funny enough, did you guys know nervous system issues will mimic people who are on the spectrum? For a while, I thought maybe I'm on the spectrum. Super loud noises, I'd be on the ground holding my ears. But a lot of other things didn't add up. But yeah, a lot of it has to do with nervous system. So they can go hand in hand, which I thought was very interesting. Also heavy metals, and I've gone through heavy metal poisoning. So I know what it's like to feel like you have half your brain under siege, and it's very painful. Not saying that's everybody's experience on the spectrum. I know it's all different for everybody. I'm just saying there are ties to these things, right? So I know I told you 10 minutes. 10 minutes in, and I feel like I haven't told you guys anything. It's going to be a sit and chill video, as I said. But I'm doing this a lot, and I'm not sure why. My nose is a little bit stuffy, but not that bad. But then again, with the histamine disorder, I'm used to having a stuffy nose and not even like thinking about it or like noticing it because I've lived my life with a stuffy nose most of the time. Okay, so what was I talking about? YouTube. YouTube right now is really frustrating. every year YouTube gets harder and harder. And right now it's like swimming in cement. It is a nonstop uphill battle. And my numbers were okay-ish when I first got back, and they just kept going down. So, you know your girl. This is the blessing of my situation of having no kids, not being married, and being so isolated. There is no reason for me not to dive in and optimize. And that's what I like to do. Like, I am OCD obsessive about I'm going to meet my goals, and I'm not going to stop. And every waking moment will be dedicated to what I'm trying to get accomplished. People say there's this thing, to master something, you need to put in 10,000 hours of work, and people kind of get freaked out by that. That's so much. And like, for me, it's like, well, no, I will literally dedicate most every hour of my day that I can. So, and I understand that concept and that philosophy, but there are certain things like social media where it is a constantly changing landscape. Constantly. You constantly have to keep up with the changes. And even then, there's going to be unknowns. So here's what's happening. When it comes to YouTube, it used to be there are two main-ish factors that are going to get your video somewhere. The first one, I'm going to lump in two things into one, and that's thumbnail and title. The thumbnail will make you or break you. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a visual artist. Funny enough, when I was younger, I was. Do you guys has that happened to you where you had talents when you were younger that then just like went away? I remember like the big Kansas City, like, what is it? What do you call that? The big museum, like I don't know if it's a national museum or what you call that, like the big museum that we had downtown. I did art lessons there and stuff, and I was really good. And then I just stopped when I was like 8 years old, and I never got that skill back. So like my stick figures all have scoliosis. I cannot draw a circle for my life. I'm not good at stuff like that. I was at one point, but it's completely gone. But I've had to learn with thumbnails, it's all about psychology. How do you get people to click, right? So I understand color schemes and different dynamics and ways to attract people. And my titles aren't bad. I know they can be kind of clickbaity. It's everybody on YouTube though. You have to have some of that. You do. Unless you build your audience quickly in a specific way. However, that's the main thing that I have found over the years that will make you or break you. And obviously then there's the other part. The other part is like SEO optimization and stuff. But the second thing that is going to happen is going to be, what topics are you covering? So if you're doing niches, right? Like what I did with like Shiba Inu, it's kind of like a Shiba channel for a while, right? That will take longer to build, especially and a lot of times if you can find a niche within a niche that you can exploit, which is what I did with Shiba. I mean, but I'm still a holder in Shiba. I still love Shiba. Like I still get like, are you going back to crypto? And not right now, not at this time, for several reasons. And a lot of it has to do with just what's happened to me and my portfolio recently, which we'll talk about too. So, okay. What was I saying? Sorry, I'm just coming off of this flare up. I'm a little bit out of it. This is the stuff you don't see that I tend to edit out, but most of the time I do okay-ish with just a few little, instances here and there that I can cover up. But in a sit and chill video, it's a little harder and I'm not going to edit. So what was I saying? Oh, YouTube. So if anybody knows business, right? Click-through rate. So your click-through rate is the rate in which people click, the percentage, right? So like, and this applies to even like sales and ads, like online ads. And that's something I'm really good at. Like with ads, I was really good at, you have 2 or 3 seconds, 5 or 6 words and a picture to hook somebody to get them to click and get them interested. I'm good at that stuff, right? I'm good at hooks. With that being said, click-through rates, a good click-through rate, 4 to 5%. That's great. Guys, I want you to know, a bad video for me is like a 7.5 to 8% click-through rate. My click-through rate is through the roof. I think on average right now, it's at 11%, and that's low for me. Like in stimulus, my click-through rate was a consistent between, I would say 12 to 25%. Right now, I'm probably between 11 to 18% with my click-through rate, which is insane. It's good. Those are great numbers. And yet, YouTube is not pushing out my content. And on top of that, there's also watch time. So the two key factors are going to be click-through rate and watch time, right? And trending topics, or how you incorporate that. So my watch time, I'm consistently getting better and better with. That's typically in the 5 to 7 minute range, which is fantastic. It's hard to keep people's attention that long. So I'm very, very grateful. And I'm so grateful to you guys that you watch. I'm just, thank you so much. Literally, when you watch a video from start to finish, I cannot tell you how much that helps me. It really does. And that's one of the reasons I'm one of the few YouTubers that I don't shill you guys stuff. I don't have a PayPal or a donation link because I know when I get in the right place, I'll make a ton of money with this. I've done it before, so I'm not going to take anything from you guys. I want to give back. That's why I like doing the gift card giveaways, which I can't do right now. But here's the situation. The situation is right now, I'm making between 10 to 15 bucks a day on YouTube. And I had been putting out 2 to 3 videos a day, grinding. My numbers are good. YouTube is just not pushing the content out, or I'll have videos that exceed, like my goal is I at least want 1 video a day to exceed the goals, right? And it does, but it's not being pushed out. Now there are a couple things going on. First of all, the algorithm has changed. So the algorithm is all going to be about finding your audience. That's going to take time. It's a very painful process. And on top of that, I'm coming into the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing. That's what I've been covering. Although I do think it's not going to stop for a while. It's not the trending topic that it was. So people who are doing well with that topic already built their audiences when it was hot. So it's not hot right now, so it's not being pushed out to those people as much, if that makes sense. There are a couple other things working against me. And here's the thing, like none of this is stuff you can really look up. I mean, you can to an extent. I mean, yes, you can look up some of this stuff and research, but a lot of this is just understanding how YouTube works and keeping up to date with their changes. The other part is this is a channel that was finance. It was stimulus, but then it was crypto. And when I was doing crypto, we were in a bull market and crypto was a hot topic. Shiba was an incredibly hot topic at the time. So I could build quickly. It's just how in 8 weeks I did a 20x in views and finances and did pretty good. But then the bear market came, and what I realized in the bear market is everything goes down, including people watching. So it's not something I can do to sustainably grow just a channel. Now, if I had something I was promoting with crypto, like I was like, get in my course and take my trades, but I don't feel confident enough in myself to do something like that. Now, I've only had 1 big loss as a trader, and it was recently. And it wasn't a bad trading decision. My decision was smart. It was a bad people decision. The people are what sabotaged me. So my trading decision was smart because this was with Catcoin, right? Which I might talk about a little bit, but like I've said, I don't really want to talk about it much because I'm just moving on from it. And I think that they're moving on as well. But we can talk a little bit. So these are the things that I have going against me to where I'm kind of pulling out my hair. And I'm like, I don't know what to do here. So in situations like this, couple things. I'm at the point where I've optimized as much as I can on my end. Because this channel was stimulus, it was finance, right? The algorithm only knows that. And it doesn't know where to send my content to. It's like, we don't know what to do. And that's what's happening. Now, what I should do in a situation like this is just keep grinding and teaching the algorithm. Here's problem. Couple things. I can't continue the pace that I'm at with my health if I'm not growing. I just can't. I can hustle. I can hustle really, really hard, but only for X amount of time. I've got to be able to see some growth. But I'm not abandoning this channel. I'm not just giving up. But I think what I've decided is I think I have to wait for a hot topic and something that really will do well. So I think between now and then, I'm going to be doing some A/B testing. I'm going to be experimenting. Because here's the other thing too. Like, I'm kind of in this weird thing where I can talk about anything, right? And I love just talking to y'all about stuff and give my perspectives and insight and my wisdom on things. And if it gravitates to you, if it can help you in some way or entertain you, fantastic. I can talk about most any subject. I just have to make sure it's something I can grow with as a business person. So on top of that, going to see my friend, and being there for a week or two, I've realized I'm going to have to scale back. So the goal is going to be 1 video a day and to optimize it the best that I can. And if I have days where I skip, I just want you guys to be aware of what's going on. That I am, and I might be at my friend's house longer. I don't know. I don't want to be away from my house too long because of my situation, but there's so many unknowns right now. I hate this. My life is one big unknown right now, and it's a lot of take your time, don't rush, you're going to mess things up. But oh my gosh, hurry up or you're not going to be here. I think a lot of us go through that as adults, right? That's a very common thing where it's like you have to rush to get things done, but take your time and slow down, and it's frustrating. So my life a lot of times becomes a timing game. YouTube is something I can do really well at and I'm really good at. YouTube, you have to have all the magic ingredients come together. And you can't force them many times. There's only, I can't force a trending topic. Now, if I were a big channel with that much influence, maybe, but I'm not, right? So I'm I'm still figuring things out. The other thing is, and I want to thank you guys so much for this, I killed it with shorts. When I came back, my biggest shorts day, I had almost 500,000 views, which is fantastic. So I like to find loopholes and hacks. This is what I'm good at, right? That's in general in life. That's what you have to do to make changes. And thank you guys for putting up with that. I know you guys saw tons and tons and tons of shorts from me. Thank you for putting up with that. Here's the problem with shorts. So it looks great on paper. And it is. The problem is the shorts algorithm, literally shorts and long form videos are two separate entities on YouTube. What that means is, I think I got 5,000 subscribers somewhere in there from shorts. It was like 3 or 5,000. I don't remember. I think it's more than 3, less than 5. So don't quote me, but I did that over the last month, which is great. None of those people are seeing my long form content. And the long form content is what you get paid for. You don't get paid for shorts. Not yet anyway. At some point, I think that'll happen with TikTok and that'll happen with YouTube. But they just haven't found the formulas to do that. Now, it didn't used to be that way with shorts. They changed the algorithm, and when I heard them talk about it, it made sense and I understood why. Basically, they were overlapping and they were hurting each other. So they had to make 2 separate systems. Now they will be changing that in the future. So coming up, they are working to make it so that when you do shorts, it will help your long form content. But I was doing all of this work for the shorts and seeing no actual growth with my long form content and getting so frustrated. So I'm gonna scale back a little bit. And I'm at the point where right now, as much as I don't wanna live my life just on a money focus, at the same time, money equals freedom on this planet. And not only that, survival. As it is right now, these are the types of things that I try to raise my voice to change, because I know we can be different and do things in a much better, healthier, productive way as a society for all of us, and we can be happier. At the end of the day, isn't it about having better, healthier experiences so we can be happier, right? And kind of embedding my ideas and getting people's minds open to what that looks like. Like, let me give you an example. Did you know a lot of technologies came out of Star Trek? So Star Trek, that would make up technologies. Later, people watching Star Trek, scientists, would end up finding the ways to create what they saw on the show. That's the type of magic I'm referring to that I like to embed into people. I want to get people's minds open to the possibilities of what can be. I'm not the smart one who's going to make the solutions or bring back the technology or uncover technology that's already there. But I am a voice that can help get people's minds open so that that right person can do all of that. Does that make sense? But we have to be open to it first. We have to have open minds and open hearts. And that's something I like to do on this channel and with what I do in general. So, okay. So I want you guys to know, if you see me a little bit sporadic, that is why. I have to go where the money is right now. And right now the money is helping my friend. And also I enjoy being with my friend. I've now been back for, I've been back for like 6 weeks, I think. And the isolation, I was very scared to come back and be this isolated again. I was very scared, but it's been really good, guys. It's been good. And I'm really happy. Even with everything that's happened. Like, I feel like I've healed and I've overcome most of it, which I'm really, really happy about. So, okay, so the next thing I'll talk about is I am also making some big trading moves. I'm not going to talk about it yet. I'm not talking about it right now. I'm getting very brave, which when my portfolio this low, it's very scary. I finally pulled my Catcoin investment. And I will tell you right now, I lost $26,000. For somebody in my position, that is a devastating amount of money. I am not completely financially destitute. I still have a little portfolio and a little room to work with, but I have no money coming in. So this is a scary situation, but I'm looking at this as this is going to help me build faith. This is a faith building practice. And I have enough right now I can take care of me. It's awful. And the thing is, guys, like almost 35,000 went down to about 8,800. That's probably the best it's going to do, unfortunately. I wished the team well. I wish everybody at Catcoin well, and I hope it works. I absolutely hope they make this coin take off. The more I watch them and the more I see, I don't think it's a safe investment for me. And that's all I will say about that. I don't really want to say too much right now. I also want to empower myself. So something I'm learning is no matter what people do to me, they can't really ever hurt you. And what I mean by that is the universe, whatever you want to call God, source, love, creator, whatever name you call it, has me and has my back and will help me and always does. So it doesn't matter what people do. And in that, I don't have to be scared of people. Which is funny because you probably don't think it, but like I have social anxieties. You'll never know and see it unless you really know me. And you can pick up on my energy because I'm really good at masking it. But yeah, I've just been so hurt and taken advantage of by people consistently that I get very scared of people. And part of that though is to thwart that, right? I become entertainer. I become entertainer Joy or Katie, and I make you laugh and giggle and have fun with you and stuff. And you just don't see it. So yeah. Okay, so that's that. And I'll talk about health a little bit. So good things. It's getting better and better and better and better. And I'm just ecstatic. So a couple things. This will mean nothing to you guys, but it's a big deal to me. So first of all, my Epsom salt baths, which is basically one big sauna. I now am up to 2 hours a day. That's a lot. So by the way, don't do that. Don't do what I'm doing. It can and probably will hurt you because I do a dry fast. So all day I dry fast. I drink almost no water. And with that, I'm in 100-degree heat. And by the way, I'm up to walking an hour and 10 minutes. I want to get to where I can do an hour and a half hike every day, and I'm almost there. I do that in the heat, right? Like I do a little power walk and I dance around in nature by myself with my headphones. And then I come back and I do my health routine, which is very dehydrating. And then I sit in at the very end of the day when I haven't eaten and drinking, I sit in an Epsom salt bath. So yeah, when I tell you don't do what I do, I mean it because it will hurt you. There are reasons medically I'm doing what I'm doing. And you know what? It could hurt me one day. What I'm doing isn't super safe, but I monitor myself, right? So like when I do the Epsom salt baths, I make sure I have my magnesium, my potassium, my salt, my water. I have everything right next to me so that if I need something, I have it, right? So I have precautions set in place. But guys, I swear, the Epsom salt baths and everything I'm doing, it's worlds better. Worlds better. I was a little frustrated because as I had to pull my cat coin investment, and I'll tell you right now, I had a few days of just sobbing, losing that much money. That was tough. Very, very tough. And there's other things that surround that, right? But like the emotional stuff of what happened too. But I feel like I'm really closing the door on that chapter, which is so nice. It's just a blessing to heal, right? But right during that, the last week, I had fever flare-ups. I haven't had fevers since beginning of May when I went to Kansas City. And the fevers came back because I had 3 days I couldn't do my health routine. And the health routine is all about getting rid of infectious stuff within my gut and my system that my body hasn't been able to overcome. So I was really frustrated because I was like, I've worked so hard. Why is this coming back? But here's the thing with what I'm doing with my body. So with what I'm doing with my body, especially with the gut bacteria, I have infectious stuff within my gut that we're working on. Bad bacteria and just other types of infections and stuff. And with that, it's not, and I have to remind myself of this, healing is not a linear straight up. It's kind of like trading. It's a zigzag upward, right? And with this stuff, with this bacteria and these infections, my body can be doing a great job getting rid of stuff. And then if you get rid of enough of it, camera issues, we're back. So the bacteria will get upset and it will fight back. Or like if you've ever had candida or parasites, it's the same concept. This is what will happen. They call it a Herx reaction. They're healing reactions. So it's reactions to your body getting rid of things and healing. And I work out this all day, every day. With the health routine, I take probably 30 or 40 different supplements, guys. I take so many pills. All of it's all natural. It's, like dandelion and milk thistle and olive leaf and garlic and turmeric and all kinds of stuff, right? And then I have a bunch of different high-powered vitamins and minerals. That's another big thing.